Welcome. Alrighty guys, welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show live episode 117. Wow, 117 episodes, 117 weeks of this, guys. We appreciate all the ones that have been with us. Alrighty, just so everyone knows, you guys can ask questions in the comment section. We try to answer a few of them, especially if they relate to the questions that we're reading over right here. And if you hear your question being read and you have a follow, throw that in the chat as well. And I'm going to pause really quick because we lost connection to Instagram and we're back. But yeah, you can always DM this to us on Instagram. We try to take all the comments from YouTube, and then also any comments or stuff you put in the chat, we try to get as well. All right, let's start with the short one. Get our attention on. So this is from Adriana, and she commented, is there a way you guys can help my puppy Scout to not pee and poop in the house? He is only 9 weeks old. Well, we certainly can. We have a structure schedule. What are you pointing to?
Ozzy says hello.
Hi. Ozzy? Oh, Ozzy. I love it. Yes, we can help you. So if you guys DM us, we can give you a skeleton of a structure schedule. But basically what you teach your puppy is when to go on command. You're teaching bladder control. You're teaching timing control. And what I mean by that is they're in the crate. You take them out of the crate. You put on the leash. You put on the harness. You take them to the area you want them to go on. You give them 2 to 3 minutes to potty. I don't follow them around in a large space. I literally stand like a tree. And they have the length of their leash to go left, right, up, down, forward, back. It's totally up to them. We're losing Instagram pretty frequently. Just giving you a heads up. You might have to edit that later. You basically give them the opportunity to go outside in the spot that you designate for a short period of time. And then if they do not go, put them back inside their crate. Close the door, lock it, wait. About 5 to 10 minutes for a dog under 6 or under 4 months. About 5 to 15 minutes for a dog that's between 4 and 6 months. And then over 6 months, you can wait about 15 to 30 minutes. Because most of the time, they don't go potty because either they don't understand where to go, they don't understand that it's their time to go, or they don't have to go. Like older dogs especially don't have to go right away. So you might be able to have them wait a little bit longer and maybe even increase your crate from 2 hours to 2.5. Because that's their new hold time. So you just got to kind of play around with that and find out how long they can hold their bladder for. Sir, where are you going? Find out how long they can hold their bladder for and then base it off of that. And then I will rinse and repeat out for potty in the crate, 5 to 15, 15 to 30, whatever you guys are doing, right back outside, same exact spot for potty. And I do that over and over and over again. I mean, I've had some dogs that take 15 times. I've had some dogs that do it on the second one. So it's really just kind of figuring out what their bladder control is. Hey, sir, you were much wiggly 2 weeks ago. Basically figuring out their bladder control, how long they can hold it, and where they need to go. That's the biggest thing. And the structure schedule has all that information for you. You guys can check it out through our Instagram DM, or if you guys have the online school, you're already a member, or you want to become a member, that's all the resources that we provide, as well as all of our training routines, place pattern, place duration, how to put them in the crate calmly, how to release them calmly, where to take them for potty, and how to do that. So just give you an idea of some things that we offer there. And that puppy, the question was just asked, that was for a 9-week-old puppy. So you'd probably be working with about maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 10. And I'm going to point something out to you guys. So Jack was a lot more relaxed the first time he came to this, and now he's a lot more wiggly, and he's not looking up at me like he did last time. He's looking at the ground. And what I'll do is I'm going to kind of feed my fingers. I do like almost like a wide stance like that. And these 2 pointing fingers are going to go under the chest, thumb on one elbow right here, other fingers on this side right here. And it allows me to kind of really just tuck them into my rib and get a deep hold, like a good firm hold. Because most puppies, they try to wander around because they don't feel either comfortable in their position or like you have them supported. So it's a great way of supporting. And if I get a lot of whining and fussing, I can do like a, hey, settle down. We don't want to do a big motion. It's just really small, like a little like twitch almost, just to remind him that we're doing something. Because all of this is fussiness, and if I actually let him down when he fusses, that's rewarding the fussiness. So I want to hold him until he settles, and once he settles, that might be when I actually give him the Kimberly to put away in the crate. Do we have a question? Oh yeah, okay. I'll grab that one in a couple just because I want to go through a few of these first. Remind me that we have it though. Alrighty, one of our questions was, and it's for the video, when to increase your puppy's potty break times. One woman said, how much should my 12-week-old golden retriever eat and how often? Okay. It's close, similar, maybe, sort of, kind of, not really, but we'll take it. All right, how much should my 12-week-old golden retriever eat and how often? How much should he eat? I have no idea. You got to ask your vet. You got to refer to the back of the bag. Know that you can always feed a little bit less than what the bag says. They're in the business of dogs eating food and buying more bags of food, so they're going to tell you eat a little bit more. Got our first stress yawn. He's getting frustrated not being able to move, so he's going to start kind of like falling into it a bit more. And how often? I do 3 times a day. I do morning, afternoon, and nighttime, because most puppies need 3 meals because they can only absorb so much nutrients at once. So that middle meal is nutrients for growth, so the puppy can get bigger and stronger. But if you only feed 2 meals a day, it creates more waste, so you have bigger poops. But again, they can only get so much nutrients at once, and they're not absorbing all the nutrients from the larger portions of the 2 meals versus the smaller portion of the 3 meals. But yeah, I would say, I mean, honestly, I really can't tell you. It depends on the weight of your golden. If your golden weighed 15 pounds versus maybe having the run to the litter who weighed 9 pounds, that's a completely different food measurement, and we don't really know how much to give. You'd have to check the weight of your dog, reference it to the bag, and then also confer with your vet. Next question, Melissa Arnell. Oh wait, this is the one you were talking about, Kimberly. Help my puppy listen to commands from my kids and not just me. It's a mini Bernedoodle, 11 weeks old. So most of the time, guys, it's not that they don't listen to kids, it's that they don't respect your kids. Because your kids tend to usually signify more affection, more play, but not training. So you're looking at a full-blown relationship rebuttal, like a full-on, like you're changing everything. Because when puppies see kids as playmates, they don't see them as leaders. Your puppy sees you as a leader, so your puppy has more respect for you, therefore your puppy's willing to listen to you when you have food. Puppy's probably just going to jump on the kids. I don't know the age of the kids. That does help me a little bit just so I can kind of understand what they're capable of doing. If you have a kid over 10 years old, under 15, they could be using the meals every day. Taking that bowl of food, instead of putting it in the bowl, you put it in a training pouch. Give your son a pouch or your daughter a pouch, have them wear it. They take a little handful of food. They say, puppy's name, come, walk 5 steps back, good, give them the food. Handful of food, puppy come, good food, puppy come, good food. For the entire meal, I'm talking like 25, 30 repetitions of come, and the dog wants to work for food because the dog is hungry. So you start having them work for the meals when the dog is most motivated to work, and that's how you can build more relationship. You also have to help your kids not be as permissive with the puppy, so when the puppy's doing the jumping and the nipping, they're not trying to play with the puppy, they're not screaming and running away, they kind of learn how to redirect that energy to more training, and then you build relationship between your kids and your puppy, rather than the puppy trying to create leadership over the children, which is usually what happens. That's the reason puppies nip at kids' ankles, they nip at their hands, they try to jump up on them all the time. It's because there's not a strong relationship, and that's something we develop in the first, I would say, 4 months of having a puppy and the family members in the home. So you definitely got some play around room to do. All right. Ooh, that is tiny writing. And this is from the video. This is how to really get your puppy to stop biting you, all caps. So, Bernedoodle, we'll take it. Having the same problem. Can you give me some specifics? If I have a treat in my hand, he's the most well-behaved pup. But when I tell him not to do something or he gets overstimulated, he's a complete monster. I've tried placing him in his crate quietly and calmly, but he barks for 20 minutes. What training tips can I do? 1, have a leash on your puppy. When they start getting ornery and they start jumping, nipping, pulling, biting, you want to actually increase some leash pressure. I'm not talking lift your puppy off the ground. I'm talking like 4 or 5 inches of pressure. Puppy is going a little bit wonkers. They're running, jumping crazy, up, down, left, right. And I'll do a little bit of that leash pressure, which kind of brings up the head, brings down the butt, and they settle momentarily. And I actually hold that pressure for about a second after they settle, and I slowly lower it down. I want you to think of that moment as a state of mind that they're in. They're in a wild, overstimulated state of mind, almost like zoomies, to where it feels like there's nothing you can do to help them calm down. So that training, having the leash on, being able to lift and be like watch him right here. Hey, settle down. Good. He gets fussy again. Hey, settle down. Good. And then you get to the point to where he'll even just balance on your legs and hang out and relax rather than constantly trying to move. That's kind of how it is for puppies too. That pressure on the leash, hey, settle down. It makes them kind of freeze. They bring down their energy. And when you actually have a puppy who looks like they're calm, it's fake. They're not actually calm. It's the fakest thing in the world. But you have a 1.34 second window, which is the short attention span of a young puppy, to redirect that focus to something else. Hey, settle down. Good. Puppy, come, place. Sit down. Good. Puppy, come, place. Sit down. Good. Puppy, come, place. Sit down. Good. And now they're going from crazy, watching. And by the way, I have food. If you have a young puppy, you're pretty much carrying food on you guys at all times. Kimberly, Jack is done. I'm passing him off. Thank you. He's ready. Bye, Jack. But also, you should have a food pouch on you guys at all times when your puppy's not in the crate, because you said the right thing, which is when you have food, your puppy's excellent. And that's normal for them not to be without food. They're still learning. They're still maturing. So you need food to have leverage. You need leash to have leverage and accountability. And all the routines that you guys have practiced, all the routines that you've been doing up until this point, that's your way of getting your puppy to settle down. First is settle motion, leash pressure up, wait them out a couple seconds, relax it, redirect them to training commands, get that brain out of forward momentum and into neutral, which is basically them looking to you for commands, almost like a follower mode kicks in. And then you have them start working and you build up training mode based off of that. I think there was 2 parts to it. And if you try to place him in the crate and he barks for 20 minutes, that's totally normal. I got dogs that bark for 2 hours. And after that, then they're totally fine for another 2 hours. So dogs bark in the crate for 20 minutes, that's usually frustration. And I'll say this too, because I know a lot of people listening right now, they're like, but the crate should never be a punishment. And let me make sure I get the name right. Where is it? Bernedoodle. And Bernedoodle, I'll tell you this right now. When you put them in the crate, you did everything right. You said you put them in calmly, relaxed, didn't create a punishment out of it. And when the puppy went in the crate, barked for 20 minutes because the puppy's still frustrated, still has all this energy. I think of it this way. I always make the joke that when you put a dog in the crate, it can't be negative, it can't be a negative experience. It's one of those things where I'm like, deep breath. Pick up my puppy. You can tell my whole demeanor's changed, my tone of voice, everything. Pick up my puppy, walk him to the crate, put him in it, close it, lock it, cover it, walk away. And the puppy is sitting in there right now. And the puppy is saying to themselves, are you crazy? I have all this energy. There's no way I'm going to be able to settle. That's why they bark. That's why they fuss. That's why they cry. That's why they whine. It's their way of working and managing all of that anxiety they still have, all that overstimulation they still have. They will eventually settle. It just takes time. I would say that if you put them in the crate, you're not planning on doing it until they settle. You are starting the next routine of their crate time. So if I had a dog out for 35 minutes and they're normally out for 40 or an hour and they're really fussing around and they got to go back to the crate, I'm like, all right, cool. It's the start of the next hour and a half, 2 hours of crate time. I'm not doing 20 minutes in and releasing them after. I've committed to them being in the crate for a new crate cycle because they must need more nap time if they're so fussy by the time they came out of the crate, already doing the nipping and jumping, the craziness. So very likely you probably need a little bit more crate time throughout the day. And if you do use the crate, just make sure you regulate how you use it. Yes?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, bring it up.
7-month-old dachshund barking on walks.
All right, we have a 7-month-old dachshund barking on walks. So to be very clear, this is hardly a puppy anymore. Most dogs by the time they hit 8 months old become technically adult dogs because they've gone through their main stage of adolescence already. 4 to 6 months is when that main stage of adolescence kicks in. Anything over that, you have relatively an adult dog is like having a 17 or an 18-year-old. They're still in the teens, they're still mentally maturing, but they're technically very close to adulthood. So your way of tackling that is going to be a little bit different. I know we've talked about different training tools in the past, like slip leashes or harnesses, things like that. I would advise if you have a thicker Dachshund, you should get a slip lead. That's a thin slip lead, and it goes high up on the neck, and it just gives you a little bit more head control. And you have to think about this too. How much focus and how much control do you have over this dog in the house? Can you walk the dog in the house and the dog focuses on you, following food, sitting on command, looking at distractions out the window and being able to be redirected away from it? Because if you don't have that, you're not even ready to do your walks outside. You got to do more practice inside. I would advise maybe checking out our online school. We have a lot of great videos on Let's Go Work. Otherwise, you could also look on YouTube and look for Adult Dog Let's Go Work or Adult Dog Heel and Turn, and you'd be kind of following a routine similar to that, which is dog gets ahead of you, you don't follow. You actually create pressure back and slightly to the side, because you don't want to go, if this is the dog, you don't want to go down the spine. You want to go slightly to the sides. So for Instagram, who just cut out, you're never pulling the leash down the spine towards you. You're actually going slightly to the side so the dog's head wants to move and follow it. Because if I step back down the spine, my dog will do a backflip, land on his back. But if I go back and angled, it turns the head in my direction, and puppy will follow in my direction. That's how you get a lot more focus, and you get the dog to redirect to you. Would I use food? Yeah, of course. And if I don't have good food drive outside, then I'd be building up food drive inside. I'd be working for every meal. There's no meals hitting a bowl anymore. Everything is hand fed. Everything is trained. All of our affection is earned, meaning that if you want to give love to your puppy, you train for 5-10 minutes, and then you can give a couple minutes of cuddle time and like that deep pressure massage you've seen in a lot of our other videos, which is just like that deep pressure into the muscles, getting to like melt into it. That's the kind of affection you give. But if your puppy doesn't think they have to earn things, then they're expectant of you on the walk to let them say hello to other dogs, let them say hello to other people. Very likely the barking isn't aggression. The barking is probably demanding. I want to go say hi and I want to go now. I get that. No, let's go. A few steps back other direction, get my puppy to follow food, turn and move the other direction. If you ever have a puppy who doesn't follow food, just keep walking away from the distraction. When your puppy finally stops being like, what is it? And looking back and finally starts looking forward, then I'll attempt to turn, face towards the dog again, and then I'll do some let's go work from that point going away from that dog. So you're finding your threshold. Your threshold is when your dog can actually pay attention to you again. When your dog is above threshold, all focus is gone and it's been long gone for a while. When you're below threshold, you're far enough away from that distraction that you can bring out food and your puppy's like, yay, food, I want to work. If they don't take food, they don't look at you, you're above threshold, nothing's going to work until you can train them below threshold to build that threshold higher and higher to get closer and closer to other distractions.
She barks at nothing.
Oh, she barks at nothing. That sounds like she's a little bit more ornery. So I would say slip lead, and I'd be focusing on that pressure that I mentioned for the other dog, which is when she starts doing the bark, I'll do a little bit of pressure, and I'll cut into her. And I'll kind of move into her and get her to walk, like move out of my way, and then I'll go in the opposite direction. Because if I turn the other way, she might still look back and bark. If I turn into her, she's like, bark, bark, whoa! And kind of backs off because now there's a person walking towards her and she's got to backpedal and get out of their way and then follow them in the other direction. That's called a heel turn in versus a heel turn around. Heel turn around is turning away from the dog. Heel turn in is cutting into the dog and walking through them and then getting them to kind of move out of your way and then follow your side. So that should help you out a little bit, but definitely check it out. Come back and let us know how it goes because that is a big one. You're welcome. Yeah, please come back though. We want to know how that works because I know a lot of other people are probably having the same issue. And if anyone else heard that, just know that this is a 7-month-old dog. And we'll say teenager. Not a puppy, not an adult, but right in the middle, like an adolescent. So she can be more firm with this adolescent dog than you can be with a young puppy. Nothing that I just said is going to work for a young puppy because they're not mentally mature enough to do it yet. Unless you've been working with them from a young age and they're like 4 or 5 months old, you're actually going to do more of your inside work with food, let's go, then backyard, then front yard, then sidewalk in front of your house, and then if you're lucky and you're ready, then try the park across the street from your house and a quieter area of the park before trying to go around anything else. Know that for every 1 walk or every 5 walks you do that are controlled training walks, those get erased with 1 fun walk. One what we call freedom walks, which is I want to have a stimulation walk, like a Ricky, what do they call it now when they want to give like the mental stimulation? It doesn't matter. I'll think of it later and I'll probably say it later. But when you want to give your dog the ability to sniff all the things, you want to like be permissive towards them. That helps a dog who's just becoming like just kind of like coming in their own, and you're doing it far away from other dogs to let them see things, let them experience things. That doesn't work for a dog that's 4 to 6 months old and starting to learn how to walk because all that teaches them to do is sniff. You don't have a real walk. Enrichment, yes, I love it. You got it. Enrichment walks. Enrichment walks are for young puppies, and I'll be honest. For enrichment walks, I don't even let them on the ground. I tend to do that more when I have a young puppy that's not vaccinated, that can't say hi to other dogs, and I put them in the sling along my side. I put them in the stroller while I'm walking them. I won't do that, but maybe my wife will. We'll see. But I would probably put them in the sling on my side and let them just kind of see everything. I'll take the walk through the park. I'll let them smell the air. They see people. They come up. I'm like, oh, no, sorry, guys. My puppy's not fully vaccinated. We're actually just out here so my puppy can smell everything, see everything. We're enriching my puppy's brain without them needing to be involved in it. So that's personally how I do enrichment walk, but I know there's a lot of other trainers that would disagree and go down a different path, and good for them. I appraise them for whatever they want to do. All right, next question. This is from Christian, TBH. All right, and he actually sent this question to Britator, who asked the previous question. This was kind of like bouncing off of that one. So, having the same issue with my 14-month-old golden retriever and is wondering the same thing at Puppy Academy. Oh, same answer. Sorry, I thought there was another question there. Yeah, you gotta be able to give some routines. Great routines of practice is place pattern, place duration, relationship building exercise game like teaching come good treat, no sit, no down, no stay, just literally 50 repetitions of come over a short 15-minute period of time for an entire meal. Place pattern is play, sit, down, stay, good, treat, come, sit, down, stay, good, treat. Obviously, I'm going through those quick. I don't have time to break down all the routines. We do have our online school. If you go to puppyacademy.com, there should be a little online banner on top. You can click on it and get a little bit more information about our online school. We do a live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. where we go over all the questions you guys have. So it's almost more of it's a smaller group of people being able to ask more questions. And that's just kind of a few of the smaller things you get with it. But it's a huge program and it has all these routines broken down into it. And it's incredibly affordable and it offers so much information. So check it out. Next question. Ooh, I'm on a roll. I'm talking fast. I love it. How long to leave a puppy in the crate? My dog doesn't want to sleep in its crate because it's summer and I live in Spain and it's hot. So she prefers sleep on the floor. What do? Put her in the crate. Don't give her a choice. But no, I mean it. Put her in the crate. Don't give her a choice. Have some AC. Have a fan on her. The crate bottom is plastic. Usually the ground might be tile, so it might be a little bit cooler. You could even get one of those cooling pads. I just bought one. It was crazy expensive, like 68 bucks for this little like medium/large one. It fits probably about a golden retriever sized dog on it. You can get smaller ones for smaller crates. And it does work. My dog hates it because she's not used to it yet and she's an old lady. But eventually she will lay on it and she'll probably love that thing. Our other dog has already kind of acclimated to going on it and she really likes it. So it's just one piece of advice. You have your cooling pad, you have a fan, you have AC. The plastic crate bottom doesn't need a dog bed in it. It can just be by itself if you don't have the cooling pad. And most puppies are like their own pillows. They have puppy fur. They're like little poof balls. So if you put the dog in the crate, they don't need anything to lay on. They can just lay in it bare, very Spartan. But yeah, try that out. See how it works. Yep, that was it for this side. How much time do I have?
6 minutes.
Yeah, I can get through all these. Why not, right? This is from some of our YouTube videos. If your puppy hates their crate, do this. And that was the video name. One of our questions from Lisa, my 8.5-month-old Australian Shepherd treeing walker coonhound. Oh, someone's getting Googled today. Australian Shepherd treeing walker coonhound hates to get into his crate. She was a rescue at 7 months and spent that puppy time in a kennel. She is fine once she's in and spends all night without incident. It is quite a show getting this strong and fairly large leggy puppy inside the crate. Any ideas? Yes, I do. So normally when I have a lot of puppies that actually are a little bit more fussy with it. So I try to have a leash either on the harness or the flat collar. If it's a bigger dog, you can do flat collar or slip lead for it. This sounds like a big dog and 7 months old. It's probably fully grown. I might consider doing a slip lead to give you a bit more leverage. And I have one hand on the slip lead, slack, and then I put a little bit of pressure towards the crate entrance. I get a hand and like my whole forearm/bicep underneath the bum, and I kind of lift up the bum off the ground. Lift it. The back legs are not touching the ground. And I treat the front legs as like the wheel, like the front wheel of a wheelbarrow. You can guide with that slip lead or the regular leash or the flat collar or the harness, whatever you have on. You can guide their head in the crate first, and that's usually where they stop and put on the brakes. The minute they do this, they technically can't complete the motion because they require their back legs, which I'm still holding. And then I start slowly moving the butt into the crate, and eventually get them far enough into where it feels like they're at this point of like ultimate resistance. That is an important moment, that resistance, because that resistance moment is when they're saying, I'm not going to do it and you can't make me. But all I say is, I got time. I can wait. I'm more patient. And after holding that position and maybe gradually increasing like a millimeter, a centimeter at a time, every like 10 seconds, they're going to be like, well, I'm bored. I'm going to go in the crate. So they go in, good, toss a treat in there, close the door and pause. Wait them out a couple seconds, open it, and then release them. And if they're that dog that goes in there and wants to come out right in the same second, let them come out right away. And I know that sounds weird, but they see that crate as something that they get locked into and they can't come out, and it feels very like strangling and restrictive to them. So take away that restriction. Let them go in and come out. Let them go in, come out. Let them go in. They're starting to go a little bit slower going in, slower coming out. That's a good thing. Start tossing a piece of treat in there. Kibble, treat, chicken, whatever you got, whatever your dog can eat. Let them go in, grab the treat, come back out. Do that 5 times. Then have them go in, scoot the butt. They're in the crate, close the door, pause. Open the door, release. No wait, no pause, no nothing. 5 times. And then have them go in there, close it, pause, open it slowly, and if they try to come out, no. Close it. You got to think about, though, how hot your puppy's coming out of that crate. If they're coming out, jamming out as fast as they possibly can. That's probably loud on the mic. I apologize. Coming out super fast, then you're going to have to close that door pretty quick. But if you close the door pretty quick and then run into it, they probably are. That's not your fault. That's not your puppy's fault. It's just a situation that every puppy goes through a couple times, which is learning how not to run into a brick wall. That becomes the door of their crate. And they learn how to kind of see that door shutting. They back off, they settle, they sit, they relax. You can open the door 3 or 4 inches, they're waiting. 5 or 6 inches, they're waiting. All the way, and they're like barely waiting, shaking. Break, release them. And if they come out hot, which they're going to because they want to come out, they don't want to be in the crate. They come out as fast as they can, scoop them up, right back inside, close it, lock it, wait, open it, repeat the steps I already mentioned. Open all the way, break, more neutral tone, break, more calm. They come out still a little bit too hot, right back in. Do it again. 3rd time, they're like a little bit of a trepidation in there. Boom, boom, boom. Then they come out, good treat once they're out. And then you can let them out and come out. And then that's just gonna help you break the negative association of them go in the crate, and they start understanding that you want them to be in there for their safety. You want them to be in there because they get a reward. It's a safe space, it's a comfortable space. They're supposed to enjoy being in the crate. You have to help them understand how they can enjoy being in the crate. All right, I know I got a couple more minutes. We started late too, so I'm going over. Sorry, Kimberly. All right, next one. This was from if your puppy hates the crate, do this. Oh, same video, great. And this is from Brittany. What if your puppy does have severe crate anxiety? How do you work with that? You hire a private trainer that has a balanced trainer knowledge of young dogs or adult dogs or puppies or adolescents, depending on the age of your dog. And that is not something I can truly help you with here. I can give you every piece of advice, and you probably watched some of our videos already. Nothing is going to help you like you need it to. One of the last dogs that we had on our live that had extreme severe crate anxiety, they ended up joining the online school, and we helped them with all of their basic obedience, and then they still actually ended up doing a session with Bethany after because she was available for them. And Bethany told me it's one of the worst severe cases of crate anxiety she's ever seen. So what I want to say is, not everything will work that you read online. Not everything will work that you hear in this video and you hear from our live. I'll be honest with you about it. I'll be very transparent. Sometimes a virtual lesson isn't going to cut it, and you need to have a private lesson with a balanced dog trainer in your home so they can show you how to work through some routines, because true severe crate anxiety is not what 95% of the people on this live are experiencing. That's what the occasional 1 in a million dog will experience, and that is very, very hard to work through. So I feel for you guys. I really, really do. I can give you as much advice as you want, but when it comes down to it, you need someone in your home evaluating that dog. I don't know if you guys live close, but if you're in the area, even within 20-30 minutes of our area, reach out to Puppy Academy. Maybe we can set up a private session for you or something. But yeah, we want to help you if we can. I just know that the virtual is not going to cut it. You need someone in your home with you. Next question. Oh, also from Brittany. My puppy screams in her crate all night and we are desperate for sleep. Brittany, you need to hire a private trainer. That is your next step. There's you have severe crate anxiety. You need someone to come in your home and work with you on your puppy's exact issues. And the only way I could even see that is if I was in your home with you doing the same thing. But yeah, wow. I hate to end on a not so strong note, but yeah, good luck with that one, Brittany. That's a really difficult situation, and we all fear for you. We all do. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you for joining.
Did you give the update on Bethany?
Oh, I was supposed to give an update on Bethany. So Bethany had her baby on yesterday. Had her baby yesterday, and it's a healthy baby. Mommy and baby are very healthy, and we'll see her next week. She's coming in for our live next week. She won't be back for a while, but no, we'll see her in a couple months. But yeah, mommy, baby, very, very healthy, very happy. Okay, guys, That's awkward. I don't know how to talk about babies. So, bye.
Great, Sparky.
Thanks. I did good, right? Baby talk's not my talk.